Okay, we're live on the duck. How are we on YouTube? We're getting there. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. So there we go. And if I remember correctly, let me check. It's public, so that means we're open, so that's good. So there we go. Nobody's here yet by the looks of it though. So as far as I can tell, they should be able to see me on YouTube. You are live. That's what it says. Ah, we got two live moves is in the house already. So there we go. Well, as I said, welcome to Rick's Life as I See It, Wednesday, the 10th of April, 2024. The 10th of April already. Jesus Christ. I don't know. The older I get, the faster the year seems to go by. I don't know what that is. Tactical Fuds here. So just give a few minutes for some more people to show up. Just I was for the people that are here. I was just telling Rob, I was sitting out in the driveway watching the full effect of the eclipse. You know, I sat there. I went outside about 2:45 and watched the total eclipse. But as soon as the sun came back out, you know, shit. I said, that's it. I'm done, and I came back inside. You know. But I mean, it was interesting. And I mean, the next one is in 20 years. Whether I will I still be alive then? Possible. I doubt it, but possible. So there we go. So at least I can say I saw it. That's my 15 minutes of claim to fame. You know. Uh, all right. Let me introduce my panelists right now. Is at the moment we have New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Unfortunately, not as happy as you about the eclipse because it was all going good. Starting, could see it, then the clouds showed up. You could still see through the clouds, and it was like, oh, we're still going to be able to see it. And then the next thing you know, you couldn't see a damn thing. So
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
got screwed.
yeah. We had that dark cloud come over almost a couple of minutes before it was meant to go. But luckily it cleared, and we had full clear blue sky. It was pretty cool. But
Lucky, lucky ducky.
yeah, but I didn't see the streams of people, pouring into Indiana to see it. Well, not this part of Indiana anyway. They might have been elsewhere, but they definitely weren't here. You know. So anyway, so far, let me have a look. In the chat, we got two live moon on Tactical FUD. They're the only two people showing up right now. Oh my God. We have as a new visitor. We have a new panelist, Squibload. How you doing?
Hey,
Good to see you. Yeah, so as I said, we just got two live moon Tactical FUD right now who are showing themselves. I don't know if there's any lurkers in the crowd. There's always a few. So maybe they're just listening to me ramble on. Anyway, just wanted to mention, where was it? Oh yeah, I if I remember, I told you all before that I took the I took the course that Masad Abu, is that how you pronounce his name? His
Masad Ayub.
Yeah, his company, his defense course. I taken it. He wasn't the instructor, somebody else was, but it was the same course. But I said that was maybe what 7 years ago. Well, where I was going with this is the actual book, what's based off is Deadly Force, and I downloaded it on Audible, so I'm going to start listening to it. Just something to listen to. get myself squared away with the art of self-defense, I guess. I already know it, but it's no harm listening to it again. So thought I'd just mention that. So it was one. I just wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget to mention it. So yeah, mind you, I subscribe to Audible, so I got the cheapest plan, and I think it's cheapest plan now is $16. I'm debating whether to cancel it. Because when I first started, I think it was 10 years ago. Now it's up to 16. Now that particular book was just under $18. So with my subscription, I get one free credit. So I bought it with it's not really free because you paid $16 for it, but I always buy a book that's more expensive than what I paid in my monthly fee. To me, that's a no-brainer. So, yeah. No.
Damn,
We get
$16.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I'm starting to think about it. Is it really worth it?
I don't know, man. I've been doing it. I mean, I just stopped an audiobook. I was listening to one at work earlier and whatnot, but I've been listening to them for years. Basically, I never paid a damn dime. So, a lot of stuff is out there for free.
Oh yeah, there is. Oh yeah, there's a lot of free books out there.
Obviously, you can pay if you want to, and some things you can't get for free. But I would think in a lot of cases you might be able to find something you like out there for free. So I wouldn't be paying $16. Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but when you can afford it,
I wouldn't pay for that crap just because you can get so much of it for free. Now, the free stuff and the paid stuff, there's plenty of good advice out there, and there's lots of bad advice too. Here's the thing. I don't care how long they've been doing it or what their name is or how many locations they have. When all they're selling is their name, to me, that's a red flag right away. All right. And they might go, well, I'm 75 years old. I can't do this anymore. So I've got my boys doing it. Great. Well, that's not you. So don't sell it as I'm going to Joe Blow School of Tactical Badassery when that guy is in a freaking old folks home and he's got some punk ass freaking know-it-all telling you what to do. I get it. For those who never did anything, you have no background to go off of, so it's real easy for you guys to buy into this stuff. And I'm not saying I know everything. I don't, okay? I've never claimed to know everything. But I got lots of training and experience from Uncle Sam, thanks to your tax dollars. I was actually mooching off the system like Rick there. And I'm not saying that's everything I ever need to know. I'm willing to pay somebody for something that's useful to me. But there's so much good information that's out there, that's been out there, for a long time, that you just have to sort through it. And you go, well, I don't know the difference. Okay, well, I don't know, dude. Get a clue, but there is a difference. And when you go to Joe Blow School, when you fly across the country and stay in the bunkhouse at their secret compound that's 1,000,000 miles away from anywhere, only because the land is cheap there, and you don't even see the person, but you get their autographed picture before you leave, and they hand you the bill. Dude, I'm going to call you a moron because you just wasted your money. For that amount of money, you could have done a lot more other stuff. Now, it's your money to waste. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people who says, don't spend any money because that's a bad idea. Dude, if you earned it, spend it. But, you could have enlisted in the military or done some other things with your life and got that training for free. Now, that doesn't mean that everything you learn in the military transfers over to civilian concealed carry. But these guys that come out here going, I got civilian concealed carry training. So when SHTF happens and the nuclear war and and we're all scavenging for food and all that, you're going to conceal carry your Glock 43 and you think that's going to save your life? Really? So, yeah, I hear a lot of bullshit out there. So, Rick, I would be careful about what you read or watch or do as far as what's actually going to be useful to you as an individual. But I'm not saying you can't glean something good out of it either.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I said I've done the course, so I've heard this stuff before. I just got it as a refresher, and I mean, it's more the ins and outs of the law and what the courts say and all that kind of stuff, how the courts look at it, and what, you know, if you're claiming self defense, what it has to be, you know.
Now, see, if I had a lot of money and I was in a self-defense case, would I hire Massad Ayoob to go up there and talk? I mean, if I thought I had a weak case and I had lots of money, sure. But if he didn't show up, he sent one of his boys, yeah, I'd be asking for my money back. Or if he showed up in a walker with, you know, crippling up to the, because he's, you know, older than my dad.
I think he's about 75, 76 now.
Yeah, then I would have a problem paying this outrageous fee for him. I suppose if I was a multimillionaire and I really did commit a crime and I wanted to get off, but I mean, at that point, he's selling his, you know, I've been doing this since before Squibb was born kind of crap. And that might sway a jury. But short of that, I don't want to pay for, and not just him, the other guys too. There's lots of other guys. I used to read the articles these SOBs wrote in Guns and Ammo back in the 80s. I'm not saying that they weren't relevant, but at a certain point, I just wonder how much this stuff gets diluted.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
but I'm not starting up a training academy. You know,
yeah.
Shit.
Hey, one good thing about it, because it's audible, so you're listening to it. It's actually him talking. It's not some paid voice.
Oh, okay. Now that sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, it's actually him talking. So
now I will say this: the guy never. He was a part-time reserve cop or something. He's more or less been training law enforcement for 50 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't like full-time, like I retired after 25 years of the mean streets of, you know, New York outcast. And, I learned all these things. Or I always thought he was Israeli. Come to find out he's Syrian, because I always thought he was Mossad, right? I thought he was like some badass operator. No, he's Syrian. He's either born in Syria and immigrated over here, or his parents are from Syria and he was born here. So he's not like this special forces guy, but just his name alone makes you think, oh shit, he's, done this or done that. And come to find out, no, he's got a lifetime of training people. Well, those who can't do teach. So just saying.
Yeah. You're right. He was he was a part-time policeman, and he made it, even though it was part-time, he made it up to the rank of captain, part-time.
Yeah, but I mean, is that like getting an honorary doctorate degree? Bill Cosby has a doctorate degree. It's honorary.
Plus, I believe it was in New Hampshire or Vermont is where he done all that at. I think that's where his home state is.
I know he does have some actual experience as far as, a gunfight for state. So I don't, I'm not completely up on him, but I remember seeing an interview, and I believe he's been in a handful of them. So that is something. I mean, it's better than somebody that's, never really gotten their hands dirty. You know what I mean? So
true.
That's probably better than, well, it's definitely better than nothing, but probably better than half the instructors out there.
Yeah, you're right. Plus, I listen to it when I'm riding in the truck down to Deb's Diner and back again, and I might listen to it, before I go to sleep type thing.
You listen to it with your surround sound on your Bose system with your infotainment center.
No, but
dude, Rick, we got to get you a new truck. I'm telling you what, brand new Silverado. Oh man.
Yeah, I ain't paying that price.
Yeah, but that truck will pretty much tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you when to shit. Dude, when you back up, it's got a camera over top of it. You can see over top of the truck, front, back, side to side. You're not going to hit anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that might be the answer. But my old truck is ticking along, you know?
Yeah, well, that's because it's got a knock in the engine.
You know, I got, yeah. No, I listen out of the actual standard speakers that came with the damn thing back in '97.
Oh, geez, Sparkomatics. Wait,
Holy
but I
shit!
do have a good stereo. The actual stereo system is pretty cool.
does that thing got a V8 or a straight 6?
It's a V8.
Oh, sorry.
He probably doesn't like those speakers. They're probably dry rotted, man.
Yeah,
They were good.
That Ford straight 6 and the
Right.
F-150 was pretty power. You know, for what it was powerful for its size, and in my experience, it gave more longevity and better fuel economy than the V8 option.
Yeah, well, I said mine's a V8 4.6 liter.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, we got to get you into a Chevy, Rick.
But, hey, but my yeah, I mean the price was right. That's why I'm driving a Ford. You know.
That's why a lot of contractor vans are Fords, because the price was right.
Yeah, but where I was going, I got a nice stereo system. It's Pioneer. I can't remember but I've had it quite a few years now. But man, when I'm driving down the road at nighttime, it's flashing all different kinds of colors when it's on, and I'm listening.
Are the speakers Pioneer too?
No, I don't know what speakers Ford used. The standard.
Hmm.
And, you know, they're behind the door. You know, I've never had the door panel off to see.
Pioneer's good stuff. That's louder than Bose.
You know, so that was back in the days when I was. So my stereo's got to be at least 10 years old, because it was back in the days when I was working. I remember getting it. You know.
Yeah, everybody out in the audience, this is what it sounds like inside a Rick's truck when he's driving.
Hey,
With the flashing lights.
My truck sounds great, and if it makes a noise, I just crank the volume up on my radio.
That's how you fix everything. That's how you fix that Subaru.
Yeah, I mean that's how I got it. I mean, right now that stereo of mine's blasted. It's loud. No, it's I know it's for its age, it does dang. There's no crackling or anything in the speakers when they're on.
I will tell you this: if you bought a brand new F-150, not only would you be amazed at the fuel economy, but that thing rides like a car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would prefer a Dodge or whatever the hell they are, a Stellantis. I prefer a Ram over or a Chevy Silverado over an F-150. But I will tell you this: if you're just commuting back and forth to work and occasionally hauling something light, and you know you want to drive through the snow or whatnot, or you know you want to go over potholes and not worry about it, that F-150 does ride smooth. But it's not as much of a work truck. But it will still tow a boat and crap like that, though.
Yeah. As I told you guys, I got my 4 new tires, which I bought when I was off air for a while. I got those, but I still have to use 4-wheel drive to get up my friend's driveway.
Mud?
The back wheels spin going up if I don't put it in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, you should have got some Rugged Trail TAs. I think they're BF Goodrich Rugged Trail TAs, 10-ply tires.
I got mine. Actually, it worked out because I got them on sale, $85 each from Walmart. More likely made in China.
Depending on the grade of the hill, you said it's gravel. I mean,
it's a steep hill.
The way your weight distribution is in the truck. I mean, I don't, There might be a tire out there that would solve your problem, but I wouldn't be surprised if, even if you spent $500 on tires, if you had the same issue.
Yeah.
So,
But I said I put it in 4-wheel drive high, of course,
yeah.
and then I'll just turn into it, and I can drive real. I drive real slow just to see if it works, and it goes right there. Doesn't the 4 wheels are doing its thing.
Now, see, Defense Dad out there saying full size trucks start at 65 grand anymore. That's not true. Oh, wait, for you it is. I get employee pricing.
Well, there you go. See, trucks ain't cheap anymore. What you call it? One of the guys I hang out with down at the diner, he just bought a Toyota Tundra. No, not Tundra. What's the next one down?
Tacoma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tacoma. Right? Base model. And it cost 40 grand.
That's not a lot of money, though.
I paid less than that for my first house I ever owned.
Yeah, but
I think it's a lot, but honestly, I mean, those are good trucks. They hold value really well. So, I wouldn't say they're going to last like the 90s version if you got one with a good frame. But basically, those are desired and whatnot. So, I mean, I think the price is probably about right for today, but I still think it's too damn much. But
mind you,
you get a decent half-ton Silverado with really good options for about 55. And I think at first you'd be confused with all the buttons and all the lights and be going, I don't know what this is. I don't know. By the end of the first year, you'd be like, where has this shit been my whole life? I mean, seriously, you can be in the house. You could wake up, get on your phone, start your car with your phone. It knows it's cold outside. It'll heat the steering wheel, heat the seats for you. On a hot day, it won't, right? After 10 minutes, it'll turn off because it knows that, you are doing something else and it won't, why waste the fuel? And you go, crap, it shut off. So you restart it. It'll run 10 more minutes and then shut off. And then you go, crap, you're still farting off, right? You go to restart it the third time, it won't. It goes, no, you're going to have to get in here and turn the key. I'm warmed up. Get in here. Quit wasting fuel. And I mean, it'll tell you you're too close to somebody. You're burning too much fuel. It'll tell you all kinds of, and you can turn every one of those things off if you don't like it. It'll do all this stuff for you.
You get it without every one of those things, so they can just X that shit off the bill.
I mean, yeah, but if you ever wanted to sell it, nobody'd want to buy it because it'd be a piece of shit.
I don't know about that.
Well, all I know is somebody offered me $3,500 for my truck.
Yeah, but that's because any other used truck is probably going for over 10.
Yeah. I mean, mine's a 97, don't forget, and it's got a little bit of rust on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The used car market is nuts. They're way inflated because of inventory and just because some people are going, I'm not paying $55,000 for a new truck. Well, they didn't take that new truck for a test drive. Have the sales guy show them everything it'll do, and they'll be like, I'll never use this stuff. Dude, I thought I'd never use this stuff. Now I ain't going back.
Yeah, but some people, it's just not worth it. They're happy without making that payment. I mean, 55 grand.
The payment on 55,000 is nothing.
That doesn't matter if it's nothing. It's 55 grand for a vehicle that's statistically going to be in the junkyard in like 10 years.
Nah, not if you know what you're doing.
Well,
rusted up and all that shit within 6-7 years. They're bringing trucks on the lot that are rusted. Speaking of Fords, where they buff the bumper and that's what they'll do for it, and then it's on you to keep it shiny, supposedly. I don't know. Like, it's not worth that kind of money. When comparison, you can get an old truck that you got, I don't know, 17, 19 years ago for $2,500 that still runs great.
Get some
I mean,
shitty, rusted old truck that smells like cigarettes and has no options, bench
it
seats.
doesn't matter. It gets
Ugh.
you to work and back. It does. You're not out impressing people.
Yeah, but when you're working a job it's not about impressing people. It's about going to work in comfort. It's never about impressing people. It's about you, what
how much
you want.
comfort do you need? I mean, it's a lot more comfortable than walking, bugging
I mean-
somebody for a ride.
Now,
I mean,
I'm
you
quite
got
surprised you don't
truck
have
got
a
to wipe
nice
your
truck.
ass for you or something.
I'm quite surprised you don't have a nice truck, Rob, because the truck, the cab of the truck
They
is
aren't
actually-
worth it.
would be your office, and it has
Yeah,
you know,
that.
it'd be nice.
Oh yeah. It's
No,
Yeah.
no, that's no wrong kind of worker. I'm the worker that's on the job. I don't sit in my truck and yell at people. Like my
well,
truck just gets me to work. It picks up materials and drops them off.
Yeah,
That's about it.
well,
Right now,
okay.
it's holding a couple ladders in the driveway
Somebody,
because I was using it yesterday. So
somebody
all I
calls you up and said, "I need a quote," and you drive over to them in the rust bucket. I
Yeah.
would think, I don't know about this guy.
I'm not giving my money to him.
I referred. That's why they got the call to begin with.
See, Defense Dad says Squibb is getting bougie in his old age. You are right, Defense Dad. I am. I'm turning into somebody I said I'd never be. I call my Colorado my pretty boy truck. It is not the smallest truck I've ever owned. It's the second smallest truck I've ever owned. And it's got all the bells and whistles. I've driven a brand new Silverado, and it's got even more bells and whistles. I got mine so I could take my long road trips and get bitchin' mileage, but still do it in comfort. But I mean, like my wife's Blazer's got more bells and whistles than my truck. Hell, I can't work half the buttons on her thing. I'm like, what does this do? Play a little game with computer that'll tell you how close you're too close to the person in front, right? It'll tell you how close you are to the person in front of you, and how much you need to slow down so that you can stop in time. It'll tell you there's a cop 3 miles up the road ready to hit you with a radar gun. It'll tell you you're running low on fuel, running low on washer fluid. It'll tell you all these things. It'll send text messages to your phone if you're starting to get a flat tire, and email you. The dashboard lights up like Apollo 13.
None
so you
of
don't.
this means anything to me. It means you're a lazy son of a bitch that doesn't understand how to use a vehicle.
Hey,
No, it's
Something
kind of
to tell
fun.
me everything. Like I like, for certain people, yes, this is the way to go. Okay, modern people, whatever, like all this shit. Other people, we don't give a shit. That's all stuff that's gonna break. That's an annoying text to my phone call. I already know if my tire is low. Why? Because I do a walk around. Why? Because I can feel it when my tire's low. I know when I'm low on oil. Why? Because I can hear it. Like, I know if I need a tie rod because you can feel it. Like, you know your vehicle when you're a freaking man. I don't understand. You don't need all this bullshit to wipe your ass for you.
So to give you an example, I must have backed over a tire in the street when I backed up the driveway the night before, and there are nails in the street where I'm at because asshole contractors like Rob like to spill them out of the back of their rickety, shitty trucks. So I get up in the morning. I'm going to leave for work. I'm going down driveway, and it's pulling and it's acting weird. Now, so I hit the button. It shows me tire inflation, and it shows all my tires are good. I'm going, it feels like I got a flat. Fuck it. It says my tires are good. I make a left turn. I drive up the hill. I'm going, man, it is pulling. I am sure I've got a right front down. Why? Because I worked as a mechanic before. Showing everything's good, right? I crest the hill. Bing, the alarm goes off. My phone buzzes, everything else. It was a very cold morning, and the sensors took a second to kick in to tell me. I get out, sure enough, the right front's flat. All right, no big deal. I back up the driveway, change the tire, drop one at the shop, and 2 hours later, they got it plugged or patched, not plugged. But yeah, I went to work that day. I got my full paycheck, came home, picked up the loose wheel, changed it out in my driveway with my kid. And no big deal, right? Didn't cost me a damn thing. The shop did it for free. That's what happens, when you do business with reputable company. But now I will say I was disappointed that the sensors didn't pick it up immediately, that my phone didn't alert me while I was sleeping. Hey, you got a tire that's running out of air. But I will tell you, in cold weather, I've had that happen before. I've been driving along and run over something, and it feels like the tire's going flat. Everything says it's good, and then suddenly just everything goes nuts. There is somewhat of a delay. On other things, there isn't a delay. But for the person who's not worked as a mechanic, they're not going to know that. They're not going to know that feel. By the way, if you can hear that you're low on oil, your engine's already fucked up, dude. But, I'm just saying that these sorts of things are at first they seem like an annoyance. But when they come as standard equipment, you learn to play with them a little bit. You kind of have fun. The long drive isn't as boring. I mean, you can talk to it and tell it what you want it to do, and it'll do it and stuff. It's kind of fun. I never thought I would like any of this crap, but I really do. I really do.
Well, I'm glad. And hey, if I fell into some money, I would buy a new truck before I bought a new house. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just it. I put more money into my vehicles my whole life than where I live. That's not to say I live in a shack. I have lived in a shack before, but I'm in my vehicle a lot. I mean, maybe not as much as I used to be, but for me, that is more important to me because of what it can do for me and how often I'm in it. For somebody else who sits at home all day, their home is more important, and I get that. And I'm not saying that you have to have all these bells and whistles. I would like to see the auto companies sell these vehicles, for all the, old timers that I don't want to work that fangled contraption. But I'm telling you, I never wanted this shit. And after years of driving different vehicles with this stuff and saying, I don't want it. And then I finally own one. And I now actually own a couple with this stuff. It's like smartphones. I was the last of my friends to get a smartphone. I said, I'll never use that crap. I can't live without that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be moving on here. Not, because we spent 30 minutes talking about vehicles, and I got a question for you guys.
Ha!
I took my scope off of my lever action Winchester 22. I haven't done anything with it. I just took it off because what was it? I was looking at the stars with it. I didn't want to hold the rifle up there because it's too heavy. So I took it off and just look at the stars with the scope. Right? Now, I haven't touched any of the dial. All I did was mess around to get it to focus. I didn't touch any of the dials or anything. So when I put it back on, am I going to have to re-sight it in, or will it be the same? What do you think? Did that make sense? Talk to me, people.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was listening to the purr of my Chevy engine just sounding great.
What I said was I took the scope off of my lever action Winchester 22 to look at the stars with it because I didn't want to hold the rifle up, because it's heavy. So, but I haven't touched any of the dials or anything. All I did was adjust the, to get it focused in. Now, when I put it back on the same rifle, am I going to have to re-sight it in? Or will it be okay?
Can you guarantee it's going back to the same exact spot?
Yeah, because the what's
like
the word for
exact
that holds the scope on the rifle. They're still on the rifle. They're not going to, so it will, and it only fits on the scope one way.
Why would going to the same exact spot make a difference? I mean,
because if you change where you're at, whether it's ahead or behind, then you're just going to be a little bit off because it's range for distance. So realize, I mean, it's barely slightly, but it is if you want to get technical. So I would personally think you're probably close enough where you're shooting it. It's not going to be a problem.
That's what I thought, but I just wanted to get you.
I'm not a supposed expert or whatever. So
okay, all right.
You should be fine, Rick. If you put it right back to where it was, everything should be the same unless you hit the scope against something. But it is a 22, so yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I said it. You know, that's why I took it off of that one. And not
I
off
thought you were
the-
going to say I took the scope off my 22 lever action and I put it on a real rifle and now it shoots like shit. What's my problem? Problem is you were playing with 22.
Hey, that 22 is a great Winchester. I mean, it's a real Winchester. It was, I think it was made in the 60s, the one I got. That's the one I traded my Smith & Wesson AR-1522 for with my cousin. Yeah.
Well, at least you got rid of that fake AR, you know,
Yeah.
but still, it's
Yeah. Hey, okay, now here's a real serious question, guys.
You wrote this shit down.
Oh yeah. I got topics.
Oh shit.
How can I get motivated out of the rut I am to go back to shooting and reloading? I mean, weeks ago, I told you I had this bullet puller on here, and I was going to check all my 357s to see if they're okay, and I haven't even touched them. They're still sitting here.
Just have Rob and I shame you, and you'll go back to it because you want to prove us wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just can't seem to. I mean, I haven't even. I went shooting about a month ago, and I said I'm going to do this every week, but I haven't.
Okay.
All he does is try to please that lady, and he doesn't have the balls to reload his ammo anymore. It's that simple.
You see what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to say he's wrong for a change. He doesn't know shit about cars, but but now see, I'm going to tell you, you're retired. Don't ask you to do a damn thing. So what's your excuse for not reloading? I got to go to work every day to pay your fucking Social Security.
Hey,
so why don't you do something good with that money and reload?
Security is that is not a privilege. That's I paid into that.
Bullshit.
You know, so it's my money and I want it now.
Yeah, well, you're not paying into it anymore, so you don't deserve it. So do something good with that time and reload. I mean, if I could sit home all day, well, I got enough vacation days. I guess I could. But I mean, if I didn't use all my vacation days, I would be reloading and stuff. So
I spent half the day down my friends in Deb's Diner.
Okay, you know why? To get away from that shit. Hey, Rob, tell him some things never change.
Anyway, all right. So, I got to get myself motivated to do that kind of, because I enjoy.
Okay, what about range videos? If you were gonna build up a stash of ammo to do, maybe go out there, get back to the range a little bit, run some tests, right? You're pretty confident in it, and then you do a range video. It don't have to be a long range video, but you talk about the ammo that you reloaded. You're obviously your bullet type and weight, right? Your powder charge, your primers, and you run off a couple rounds. You're not really, if you get it in a certain group, you're good. What do they go? Minute of man, right? But you work up a batch of reloads for that, and that'll get you to the range. Because I can tell you, doing a quick batch of reloads, running to the range and shooting a video is not a good idea. You probably want to do 3 or 4 batches, and by the time you've got it all dialed in, then try to shoot some footage.
Yeah.
Or what about comparing your reloads to factory ammo?
That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea.
Now, I'm not saying you have to do a range video, but people love those.
Yeah, why? I don't know. I find it boring to watch actual range videos, watching people shoot at a target. I used to enjoy. When I first started, I used to enjoy them, but I haven't enjoyed a range video in years.
What was that, Outcast?
I got a question for you guys, being reloaders. Seems like all reloaders, they're always working on a new recipe. They're always trying this, a batch of this, a batch of that. Like, you figure, I don't know, I get maybe I'm not thinking through, and, the average reloader has a complete arsenal, so they're always playing around with everything. But my main question is, why don't you guys like just do consistency? Like get a favorite powder, favorite round, and that's what you make for this gun.
I do.
Like
I
can't
do.
like it
I
seems
do
like
as
you
well.
guys just can't get it right or something. Like you're always, it's like tweaking a carburetor. You can't,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know, like, you know what I mean? Get it once you got it right, leave it the hell alone. You know
well,
what I mean?
I
Isn't
do
that
too. I
what
mean,
you would do?
the only reason I would start messing around with my thing is, say for argument's sake, a particular powder that I use, I can't find it anywhere, and I buy a different powder.
Okay, that
Then I
makes
wouldn't
sense.
mess. Not all powder's the same.
Okay, so
Well,
Rick, do you keep a reloader's notebook?
Oh, on what no, not really.
Okay, so Rob, I've got a Word file because I don't use paper, and just a Word document. The header is the caliber, and then the rifle that I'm using it in, or pistol, right, with an underline under it, it's in bold, all that. Then underneath, I've got the date, and then I put down the information: what kind of powder, how many grains, what primer, did I crimp, did I not crimp, my case overall length, min and max, my cartridge overall length, min and max. Then when I take it to, and I write that down on a small piece of scratch paper, shove it in with the ammo that I take to the range. When I'm at the range, I take a pen out, I write down the weather conditions, things like that, and then I write down the results. Did I get good groups with it? Did I have a lot of flyers? Did I have failure to feed, failure to extract? Did I have some light primer strikes? Did I think it was a rifle? Did I think it was the ammo? What could I change, right? And then I'll go back and maybe play with the formula a little bit, change out the primer, do whatever, right? And then take it out, and then I'll make a note of the exact same thing. What were the conditions that day? Did I have better results? Once I dial it into where I want for that caliber, that bullet weight, that bullet type, I will highlight that in yellow. Use this for deer hunting. Use this for plinking. Use this for whatever, right? Defense ammo, self-defense ammo. And I've got all the different calibers that I reload for on this Word file, and I can show you my failures and my successes. If I just want to make a batch of 100 rounds to take to the range, or I need a batch of just 12 rounds for deer hunting, or maybe I need a little bit more than that because I want to make sure I sight in the rifle before I go out, but I want to sight in with the same ammo I hunt with, I just go to that Word document. All right, 44 Magnum. All right, do that. I make up a batch of that. I go out. If it's good, I'll add it to that information that I ran it again. It was good again, and that's what I hunt with. I don't know about these guys that just play with stuff over and over again. I mean, if you're trying to replicate a historical load, like something where the data has been lost, that could take some time to run back and forth and get as close to what you think it is. But other than that, I'm not wasting time with that, because, I'll make up a batch of a couple hundred rounds when it's the family going out to the range to plink 5.56, but I can run off 12 or 20 rounds of 44 Magnum and I'm set for deer season.
Yeah. I mean, most of the ammo I reload is for plinking purposes. I mean, I know I got it. I got my book there, and I do have it written down, my formulas, what I'm using to get. But where I'm going with this is, if let me see if I can find one here. I got them written on a piece of paper. What's this one? Oh, 45 ACP. Here we go. Use bullseye powder, 230 grain bullet. Minimum length is powder is minimum 5.0, max is 5.7. Overall length 126. Now, what I'm saying is when I'm using this for plinking, long as it's somewhere between 5.0 and 5.7, I'm good. It doesn't all have to be 5.5. When I'm weighing it, if it's in the ballpark for plinking, I'll let it go.
Yeah, for the different things I do, plinking, self-defense, and hunting, I'm plus or minus a tenth of a grain, and I don't. Some guys are down the precision; it's got to be exact every time. And if I want, I can do that. But a tenth of a grain either way, I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah.
damn, Rick, that's kind of hot for plinking ammo.
You think so? Well, no, I mean, it works for me, but I don't shoot for it. Maybe that's why my wrist hurts so much.
Yeah, but
But I
on the
don't,
same
you know,
topic though, Outcast, you buy your ammo, you don't reload. So do you go back to the exact same load when you go out to the range to target shoot?
I try to buy the same types, like to stock, I guess you can state. Like my rifle's sighted in with a certain ammo, and I got a crap load of that ammo, and that just stays stashed. So I don't really play with that way. You know, if I had to count on it for something, I'm ready to go with that. You know, plinking, I could throw 223 in. It varies the slightest, but it's within, as they say, minute a man or whatever. I'm still hitting my plates, all that stuff. The group just it changes a little bit, but not much. So, and obviously with brands, sometimes it could be a little different. So, but basically, I try to get the same stuff. Lately, I've been running through. I got a deal, we'll say, and it's mixed ammo, and I've been running through all that crap. So when I'm shooting a lot of my last few videos, anything like 9mm, it could be 119, 147, or who knows? Every round could be different. So that's you know would be a problem as far as true accuracy, but shooting at my steel plates, I'm able to get most rounds on target without a problem. So it's not that different in a sense. So but it yeah, and like what I would consider serious or defensive or whatever, and I do consider FMJ defensive as well. I know others don't, but if you got barriers, this or that, works in the military, I don't see a problem with it. It all goes down to placement, I guess. So obviously penetration could be a problem with different calibers or whatever, different situations, but you know, I don't know. I pretty much try to stick to the same stuff for things are sighted in with certain ammos. Basically, put it that way. So that's what I'm going to go for in an emergency or if something's critical, and I gotta do my best. That I'm gonna run with that. So yeah, I've tried other brands and all that, but I try to stick to the same thing in most cases for anything serious, I guess you could state. So because it
yeah,
seemed, to me, I don't know. Now I'm rambling a little bit, but consistency always seems to be key. You can Kentucky windage consistency. You can, uh, estimate your drops. You know what I mean? There's, once you get used to it, that's what it is. Like to me, I bought a pack of them UMCs. Oh my goodness! Like I thought, I was shocked. They even ran right, but if you looked at them, like set them on a table flat, they looked like a bar graph. They just floated up and down, and every shot felt different. And I kept looking at my gun like something was wrong. One's, a lot quieter than the other one. I was like, holy crap. I don't like stuff like that. Personally, I never bought any more of that crap. So, not saying all Remington ammo is like that, but that Remington UMC stuff was horrible that I experienced. But anyway, yeah, I think the more consistent, the better. Even if you're practicing in general, if you're using, if you're carrying hollow points that are heavier, your practice ammo should match the weight, in my opinion. Obviously, doesn't always work that way. Sometimes, whatever the case is, but that's how I think you would get your best results long term. Personally, my opinion.
yeah. Oh, what I was going to
But
mention, slight, still on ammo, but getting off a reload. You remember was it last month or something? I mentioned that website that I found, Ammo Squared, where you can
Yeah,
pay
your
so much a month.
layaway ammo spot.
What?
Your layaway ammo spot.
Yeah. Well, they took another payment out this week. That's what made me think of it. So I got more ammo now. I'm not up to a full box of anything yet, but you know, but I got it spread over 4 different kinds of ammo. You know, so I thought I'd give it a try, see if it does, work out okay. See, so when you guys are crying, I got no ammo, I'm going to have tons of it ready to go. I just got to say ship it.
Tons of it. You ain't even got a box of nothing yet.
Yeah, well, I'm
That's not
saying,
fun.
I
What are
mean,
you gonna have? 4 or 5 boxes of ammo? Get out of here.
hey, once I get a few backed up, and you guys are crying for ammo, I
You're
can say
talking
I've
4
got
or
mine
5
delivered.
pallets of ammo. Then I got some respect for you.
Yeah. So
Is 3 pallets enough?
That's respectable.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
then-
But anyway, I just wanted to mention that they took another payment out of on me, so I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, I would have just told you to put it on the credit card. Hey, put Defense Dad's comment back up there. It's true. Why would you take reload advice from a guy like me?
Yeah, I don't think New York can read it because he's on his phone or something.
Yeah, well, he's low tech, low budget. No, scroll
Wrong
back
one,
up to
wrong
the
Where
would
is
you
it?
take
Yeah.
advice? Yeah.
Oh yeah, should we really listen to Squibb on this? Didn't he get his nickname from blowing up a barrel on his 1911 with a squib that he reloaded?
Yep, I did.
Uh,
I was durability testing a Ruger SR 1911. I wanted to see if you could run 3 230 grain bullets down the barrel and not have it explode. And what do you know? It didn't. But yeah, that is right around the time I got into reloading is about the time I got on YouTube, and I wanted to think of a name, and I didn't want to use my name because I'd seen some of the other channels had these names and whatnot, and I'm like, man, I don't know what's firearms related that and I'm like, well, I did just fuck up that barrel. And so I said, you know what, if you can't make fun of yourself, then who the hell can you make fun of? And I invite anybody. What he said is funny, but it's also true. And that's what makes it even more funny. And if you think about it, yeah, getting reload advice from me, you might be like, yeah, but I did learn my lesson from that. And I did find a great supplier for 1911 barrels, another Marine. Hoorah. So, I dropped his barrel in there instead of sending it off to Ruger, who probably would have replaced it for free. But, hey, I got the money. And I made sure it was plus P rated, and I load all my 45 AARP hot. And maybe not as hot as Rick loads it, but I load it pretty damn hot. And, it was a learning experience. And I talked to the family, and I said, when I tell you I'm reloading, that means this is your last chance to tell me you need something. Because unless somebody's bleeding out and has to go to the hospital, do not interrupt me. And I advise anybody getting into reloading to have that conversation with the family. Look, if you don't want me to destroy an expensive firearm or waste expensive components or potentially risk injuring or killing me, because there are those people that are terrified to reload. They think it's going to burn their house down. It won't, dude, unless you're a total asshole, in which case you would have burned your house down with a can of gas. People have been reloading since the 19th century. It's fairly safe. And if you follow some simple rules, you'll be fine. But you need to do this uninterrupted. Don't start assembly lining these things and then stop and come back 20 minutes later, because you might forget where you were, and then you end up making a squib load. And that channel name's already been taken, so don't try it.
I mean, now what you're saying, that's why I'm having problems with these 357s, because when I done them, I was on a what in the hell you call it? Forgotten the name of it.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
I was on Discord.
Yeah, I deleted that shit off my computer.
I was in a Discord chat when I was loading these, And that's why I said I think I got a problem, because I wasn't 100% focused, because I was, participating in the chat.
Yeah. So, Rob, if you got into reloading, if you got to run away every couple of minutes to go bury a body for the neighbors, or feed the lizard, or change a baby diaper, or something like that, then yeah, it's not for you. So don't get into it.
Yeah, I'd like one where you just kind of fill the hopper and hit the button, and I can come
Oh,
back.
they have those,
Yeah, they do.
Bin of ammo out.
but
Yeah,
if you got the
yeah.
money, though, that's the question.
Yeah. Well, what was it, like 10,000? I looked at it one time.
No. It's
Thinking
more
about
like $1,500, but you'd shit your pants over $1,500.
I don't know, man. I mean, for what I'd call my ammo bitch, I don't know. It's not a bad deal. I was
Now,
looking at even higher. In a sense, because if cost was right, this and that, if it's actually going to be effective and you're going to actually shoot it, then what the hell? I mean, it seems like a better way to do it, and then I don't have to really necessarily waste my time. And I'm told for a machine that you can really trust, it's going to be up there. You're looking at like 7, 8, 9, 10 grand, something like that. So now maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. This is what I'm
that's
told.
not true at all.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the prices have gone up, but
man, that would probably be my style.
But if you're just gonna dump it into the hopper and let it run, you might as well buy
all right, here you go.
Manufactured ammo.
All right, for a reliable automated reload system, just your not these aren't dies. This isn't components. This is just the press. This isn't the shit it mounts to. This is just the press. $1,800 on Amazon.
Yeah, I can't.
Then you got to buy the dies, and you got to buy what you're going to put it to, and
what I'm looking at, like, is going to get dropped off on a straight truck or something. You know what I mean? The thing I was looking at.
Then you're looking to sell. Then you're looking to sell. If you're spending more than that, you're looking to sell.
Well,
he's looking at
you
something
might as well
like
have that capability.
You better have a class 7
maybe
FFL.
you need to arm a group. I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, there's
I can't think of
options are always a good thing.
Dude, I could arm a group with a damn turret press.
Yeah. Now, what was the guy's name? I can't think of it now. Friend of your Saturday morning guy.
Foos?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he paid that kind of money for his, I believe, but he was selling.
Foos had a production machine.
Yeah.
He got a license. He got his license through the ATF. He got his business license, everything else. Set up a website, did all that crap. And he made the ammo and sold the ammo. And eventually it just didn't work out. So I don't know if he still has the machine. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but he has the capability to make production batches of 9mm ammo. That same machine can be retooled to make a lot of other ammo, but you're going to have to take the time to retool it and change this and change that in it. It's no different than working at a factory. So for the price of a car, you guys would buy, you could buy a production machine. But now you've got there's a lot of other things involved. If you want to recoup your money, I would say have multiple machines, run multiple calibers, offer a lot of stuff, and keep everything in stock. If you can't keep it in stock, people aren't going to keep buying off of you. That's the quickest way to lose your customers is go out of stock. Meanwhile, Midway USA can sell it. Also, you got to compete. If you're not selling it cheaper than Brownells or Midway USA or whoever, the big sellers are, if you're not selling it cheaper than the local store, nobody's going to buy from you, especially when they got to pay shipping and handling.
Got a good point. Yeah. Anyway, it's almost quitting time. So before I wanted to do why it's on my mind, my quiz, because the last quiz last week, 2 Live Moo won it, and I haven't forgotten you. I got the envelope right here. It's going to the mailbox tomorrow. So yeah. So my new question, and this is what will be answered. You got until the 1st of May to get it into me, because I'm doing it monthly right now, as everybody knows. In the movie Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. That's the latest one that came out. Was it last year or the beginning of this year or whenever it was? What I want to know is what handgun did Ethan Hunt use in the Arabian, is that how you pronounce it? Desert scene. I want to know what firearm he used. What handgun, basically, in the Arabian desert scene. So email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. There you go. Get it into me by the first 12 o'clock noon, and you're being for the drawing. So there you go. Oh, and it's just a swag pack that I send you guys. So, just a bit of fun. So there we go. That's it. And actually, I still got what you call it? Still got one topic left, which I will take on. Is that this week's or last week? No, I lied. No, go back the other way. I've got that one's done. 1, 2. I got 2 topics to start with for next week. So there we go. So I'm going to wind it up. So if you guys, New York Outcast, if you got any shout outs or plugs or any advice or anything like that you want to give, any pearls of wisdom?
Salad's good for you. You don't have to compensate with large rounds. Just shoot better. Wish me luck tonight. So the girl that puked in my sneaker last time's on her way over. So, and I do have to work in the morning, so it's going to be a hell of a night. So, wish me luck. Other than that, stay cool, folks.
All right, sounds good. What about you, Squiblo? Got anything?
Oh, let's see. Where do I start? Let's see. Some of the things I never liked about your show, Rick, is the fact that you want to start on time and finish on time. Because sometimes we'd have some bitchin' pre-chats and you wouldn't go live. And then when we had lame pre-chats, you'd go live early. Yeah. And, when the show was going really good, you'd quit on time. And, But
I understand what you're saying.
You got something to do,
But today's show really wasn't that good, so I'm glad you're quitting on time.
Well, the reason I try to start and finish on time, I know I'm nowhere near it, and it doesn't sound like it, but I was originally, when I'd done this, and I'm still doing it now, was basing it on like if you had a talk show on the radio. Start at the time and end at the time because you got another DJ lined up to go.
Oh shit! Don't tell me somebody else on YouTube told you how to run your channel to increase your numbers, because all those guys are full of shit.
No, they haven't. That's why my numbers ain't gone up.
Masayub told you how to.
Yeah, but no, I said that was my original thing, was to be like an actual talk show on the radio.
Well, today's show was kind of lame because we talked about the same shit we always talk about, but that's okay though. You've got 2 more topics for next time, and
I'll get some more too.
Besides that, it isn't my show. I'm not hosting it, so I should shut the fuck up.
Anyway, and anybody out there, if you got any topics you want me to bring up, email me them at the same email address that the quiz goes to, rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com. or spottedrick@gmail.com. You got any topics? I'll do them. I'll write them on my list here. So there we go. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody in the chat, the few that showed up tonight, and there might be some lurkers out there. I don't know. But I want to say I appreciate everybody showing up. And, I enjoyed the show. It went by fast. We spent 30 minutes talking about trucks, but that's okay.
Hey, well, you know what? You've got to be a little secular, Rick. You got to kind of reach out to that other crowd, and then they go, well, what's this gun thing all about? And then before you know it, they're going, oh, hey, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
You got to bridge that gap.
You're right.
You know,
Well,
next time Outcast will take over the show and talk about mac and cheese, and maybe he'll make a breakthrough.
Ooh,
you never know. You never
good
know.
stuff.
You can
Baked mac and cheese.
you can explain why people put beans on toast and it's good. You know,
It is good. You know,
you were right. The mayonnaise on the fries is awesome.
it is. It
The
is. I
people,
tell you.
the people at McDonald's hate us.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what I did. Was it yesterday or the day before? We had mashed potatoes with on my plate with my my meat, and I actually put, I call it, it's like steak sauce on my mashed potatoes. Oh man, that was good. Just thought I'll mention it. That's something different.
You ever tried putting like cheese and chives and stuff in your mashed potatoes? Jazz them
Oh
up
yeah.
a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Would you still drown that with knockoff steak sauce?
I doubt it.
Okay, just
But I
checking.
was spicing it up. So no harm in trying.
No,
Yeah.
no. And we all got our things. So I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing my
So,
thing on your shit.
Anyway, let me close this down and get it out. Let everybody go on to their next chat. So thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Thanks very much, and I'll see you all next week at 7:00 Eastern time, the only time zone that counts. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.